there's only one award show for gamers, G-Phoria, where wondrous celebs, heavenly bands, and gaming's biggest awards come together in a paradise for players. Check out this year's nominees in The Road to G-Phoria.
What makes a great game is something that you can put in at any time, in any mood, and still have a good time with it.
When you actually can play it. It's like, it's describable from the get-go. You can actually sit down and you're not confused.
Yellow, half circle thing, eating small white dots, chewing a character named Blinky. If someone can come up with something like that, that'd be a great video game.
The nominees for Best Adaptation.
Enter the Matrix was really unique in that, you had to play the game to get the whole story of the movie. And it was great because they actually filmed scenes using the real movie actors that weren't in the films.
You have no need to think.
Enter the Matrix fully revolutionized how movies and video games can interlace. To understand everything that's going on in the Matrix movies, you really kind of do have to play the games.
It's designed so that if you play the game, you get more out of the movies. You can't get more integrated with the franchise than that.
As somebody that's a huge fan of the Matrix, the way they integrated the music and the plots, the pace of the action, the wire-fu, it was fantastic.
Enough.
The new James Bond game was probably the best adaptation of the Bond series that we've seen yet, just in terms of making you feel like you were playing through a 007 movie.
If you saw the trailer for this, you would think next James Bond movie, and they've done everything with the high-priced Hollywood talent to the cinematic feel of the game.
What will you ever think of next?
It feels so Bond because they took the time to make sure that they had the babes, the cars, the action.
It's got Pierce Brosnan, Shannon Elizabeth, Heidi Klum, Willem Dafoe, all big-time actors who are in a Bond product for the first time as a game, not a movie. And the result is a game that has a lot of amazing Bond moments.
I have a sinking feeling that won't be the last I'll see of him.
Simpsons Hit and Run opens up Springfield for the first time, and you get to wander around everywhere. A lot of the joy in the game comes from the fact that you recognize these locales.
Ah, that's cute. They got the actual writers from the show to write all this cool dialogue. They got all the actors to record their voices. So, you go into the Quickie Mart, there's a Pooh, and you actually get to talk to them and have fun with them.
Time for me to do that. Hindu that I do.
Eventually, if you collect enough special bonuses, you get to see a special episode of Itchy and Scratchy. I mean, that is brilliant.
You see everything from the show that you love. I mean, there's so many things in there. Inside jokes or just small little homages to a character or episode. Pretty much the best Simpsons game today.
Later, I'm going to the arcade.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is probably the best Star Wars game ever. It really captures what's cool about the movies, better than any other Star Wars game ever before.
Those were designers who got what was so great about Star Wars and really recaptured and rekindled that childhood awe of the universe.
KOTOR was exciting because you got to travel back in time in the Star Wars universe to a galaxy even longer ago than the one that we'd seen in the movies.
They managed to bring something new to it, and they could be a bit more radical with the characters, and they could break the rules a little bit because the rules hadn't been set yet.
What makes it so great is that BioWare has managed to take the Star Wars universe, expand on it, and make it fun again. Make it exciting again, make it new.
Return of the King isn't a normal adaptation in that it doesn't retell the story. It lets you play through the battles. It lets you play through the dramatic, action-packed sequences that are in the movies.
You feel like you're there. You feel like you're part of the movie, part of the book. You can't help but feel like you're just one little character in just a sea of combat.
Playing the game, you really felt like you were in some of those huge epic battles from the movie. And seeing the movie, it made what you were doing in the game that much more impactful because you could just see how big and how scary and how amazing everything was.
All the voice acting was in there, Howard Shore's score was in there, and the technology behind the game especially. I mean, some of the scenes look gorgeous.
All the things that you would say about the movie, you can say about the game, so I think they nailed it.
I would totally be an elf. I got the ears.
Women are really more attracted to the elf archetype.
The legend grows. The new, longer Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, with more legroom, twice the cargo space, and trail-rated capability. Only in a Jeep 4x4.
Real songs by the original artist directly to your singular phone. Hundreds of choices from more music labels than any other wireless carrier.
Thanks for downloading us tonight!
Real music tones. Another reason Singular fits you best.
Here you go, the Reebok Classic Clip Groove.
Oh yeah, Twister got these on, it's so sexy.
Well, what's up, shawty? You know I'ma have to stop. You're looking too proper.
When you stepping out of the Foot Locker, and they got on so much ice I can make her my blind date. She built with a fine face, so sexy in size 8. Wanna be the one Twister, come and check out how we ride. And I only be ballin' with folks that's rocking them Reeboks. And every time I step out of a nasty whip, I'm only sporting Reebok Classic Clip.
The Reebok Classic Clip Groove, available only at Foot Locker.
Alien vs. Predator. This film is not yet rated. August 13th.
Here at Arby's, we're celebrating the introduction of a great new sandwich.
Introducing Arby's new Market Fresh Chicken Salad Sandwich. Tender, all-white meat chicken with fresh diced apples, sliced grapes, and toasted pecans. All on bakery soft honey wheat bread. Uh-oh! Arby's new Market Fresh Chicken Salad Sandwich. Chicken salad never tasted so good.
Hey, Dad, this computer would be perfect for school.
Yeah, but this one would be a lot easier for you to, you know, bring home every weekend.
It's that time again. And Circuit City's the place for all your new school gear. Right now, save $300 on this E-Machines desktop PC with an Intel Celeron processor, 17-inch flat-screen monitor, and Lexmark color inkjet printer. Just $399.99 after mail-in rebates. Today at Circuit City.
Most guys you'd think would go with the warrior thing, but I think women are really more attracted to the elf archetype. Guys like the guys in Hanson or Beck, I see as being like elf-like. Any guy that kind of looks like the Olsen twins.
I would tell you that I would be the wizard. My friends would tell you that I would be the thief. My boyfriends would tell you that I'm the elf. Don't ask why.
I would totally be an elf. I got the ears. See, I have elfin ears.
The token hot babe in armor. They have really, their waist to hip ratios, I think, are physically impossible, but visually delicious.
First of all, I do not know what backwards role-playing game system you're playing because you did not even give me the option of being a paladin or ranger or illusionist or bard, not to mention a Valkyrie. So to answer your question, I would rather fail my saving throw after being hit in the neck with a +2 poison dart than live in such a sucky fantasy role-playing system.
The nominees for Best RPG.
Champions of Norath was a great 4-player role-playing game. It was fast, it was fun. It had randomly generated dungeons, so you could play it over and over and over again.
Such perseverance.
It really gave you the feeling that you and a bunch of friends were just wandering through the dungeons, making them safe for everybody behind you, and taking evil out, and that is fun.
I think it actually evangelized the EverQuest experience to new gamers in a way that the real EverQuest never managed to do.
Deus Ex Invisible War is your sort of classic open-ended RPG. You, in theory, have the opportunity to go do anything you want, interact in any kind of way. This is the RPG dream.
The number of ways that you can kill somebody the number of ways that you can get around somebody without killing them, the sheer number of choices you have to make at every juncture of every second of play in Invisible War are just completely unprecedented.
It did what a role-playing game was supposed to, and it really sucked you into the world, and it offered you lots of different ways of doing things. You could put yourself into that game and just lose yourself in it, which not every game can say that.
Final Fantasy X-2 is probably the best Final Fantasy sequel in a long line of Final Fantasy games. The graphics are amazing, the visual presentation is very well done, and you meet up with some very unusual characters.
It's got a great storyline. It's got really, really intense action. And it's got all the things that you love about the Final Fantasy universe, coupled with 3 chicks as the center of the story.
They were able to take probably the most beloved and honored RPG franchise in history and mix it up a little bit. You had 4 female leads in a free-form environment in a Final Fantasy, and it worked perfect.
Final Fantasy XI was one of those great games that takes a chance with a series that's already really successful. And thankfully, they did it right.
The first Final Fantasy game to be online, and it's obviously Final Fantasy. It looks like it, it feels like it, except everybody in the world is real. A real person playing a role. And that's a really unique experience.
The game just has a ton of personality, and I think that's, that really counts in a very crowded genre.
The only problem is it's a little bit addictive, so watch out.
Star Wars is such a beloved property and such a beloved universe, and this game does such a fantastic job of putting you right in the middle of it.
You really have so much freedom to be more evil than you've ever seen Darth Vader being evil. You have that sort of option.
You got to choose basically between forming your character to become either dark or good. Probably one of the best written stories I've ever experienced for an RPG.
It's got these twists and turns that you'll never suspect, and that's really what's the core of an RPG, is getting the story across and making you want to get through it.
Knights of the Old Republic, bar none, will make you laugh, make you cry, and make you kiss a couple weeks of your life goodbye. It's just so much fun.
Anything, you name it, I'd do it. Seriously.
I just might let like a cute boy spank me with my pants down.
DV, and here's Winterfoo on the Winterfresh Network. Oh, yes!
Unhand my Winterfresh gum. The Winterfresh gum is rightfully mine. Ha 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 ha!
Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
Winterfresh Network, where icy cool breath is always on. There's only one award show for gamers, G-Phoria, where wondrous celebs, heavenly bands, and gaming's biggest awards come together in a paradise for players. Join us for the ultimate gamer celebration. Make the escape starting Friday, August 6th at 8 p.m. G-Phoria, sponsored by EB Games and Jeep.
Anything, you name it, I'd do it. Seriously. What do you want? Tell me. No, I'm not going below the equator.
I would do this interview naked. So, where's my games, guys?
I just might let like a cute boy spank me with my pants down.
I don't get embarrassed. Don't you know who you're talking to, man?
The nominees for Best Easter Egg.
The original Prince of Persia is and will always remain one of the best platforming games ever, so the ability to get that game again without trying to find an old computer that can run your floppy disk version of it is fantastic.
You got to really see how faithful in a lot of ways this 3D upgrade was to the 2D original.
But they didn't just unlock the original Prince of Persia, they actually recreated the original Prince of Persia in 3D. And it was cool to see the developers actually spent time remaking the original game just as an unlockable.
Geometry Wars is a great sort of tip of the hat to classic arcade gamers. If you were one of those people who always played Asteroids or Berserk or Defender or any of those old arcade games, to have a sort of a brand new working Geometry Wars in the game, it's just a nice touch.
Here in the office, we would actually gather around people's desks just to play Geometry Wars. We're like, forget the racing, we want to play Geometry Wars.
If you put that out as an actual game, I would play it for the rest of my life.
The Insomniac Museum is nice to have simply because Insomniac's such a bunch of great guys, and they know their craft so well. So being able to sort of go into the Insomniac Museum and see what makes them tick and how they put a game together it's not only educational, it's sort of inspirational.
If you unlock that level, you actually got to see some of the building blocks for the actual game. You got to see some of the, crazy creatures that were there and test out weapons. Everybody wants to use like the weapons in Ratchet & Clank to create tons of havoc. Well, in this playground level, you can totally do that just for the fun of it.
In Rogue Squadron 3, you can unlock the arcade games that everyone was so wowed by when they came out.
If you've been into gaming as long as a lot of us have, then you forget how cool that game was.
You've got this primitive vector graphics game and then this high-resolution bump map, polymapped, whatever, light source, sci-fi, spectacular, but ultimately you're both playing the same thing. It's kind of cool.
It's just as exciting now as it was then. It's not as pretty by today's standards, but man, the gameplay's still there, and it's still great to see that Death Star go up at the end.
Who doesn't want to be Snoop Dogg? And just rolling around in his Pitmobile? How cool is that?
So when you have an Easter egg, you want to have a cool goodie. But then True Crime comes out, and it's like, here's the secret. You get to unlock Snoop Dogg inside the game. It was kind of a pretty cool idea, actually.
Well, everybody liked Snoop Dogg. It's kind of cool to have Snoop Dogg in the game. For shizzle dizzle.
I'm a crazy
The nominees for the EB Gamers Choice Award.
As just a raw sensorial experience where your eyes are popping out of your head and your ears are bleeding and you're shaking with fright, Call of Duty is the game this year.
Call of Duty is awesome. There's just no question, nothing touches it.
My personal favorite, again, Mario Kart Double Dash.
I loved it. It was a great game. That thing is crack on wheels. That thing just cooks.
You can't not love Mario Kart. It's just great to play with all your friends.
Underground might have been my favorite game last year.
It was just amazing how good everything looked, how real it was. I had a real blast playing it.
It just makes you feel powerful and dangerous and fast.
I totally feel like losing my lunch and peeing my pants every time I play that game.
Ninja Gaiden had some of the best action sequences that you'll ever play and you'll ever see.
I broke 2 controllers playing that one.
You feel like a complete and total badass. And that's really about all there is to say.
KOTOR is what I hope RPGs become like. Love it.
Knights of the Old Republic is just one of the best games that has ever come out.
The winner. This should be the winner.
Even if you hate RPGs, even if you hate Star Wars, you can't play Star Wars KOTOR and not come away feeling absolutely energized.
Vote for the EB Gamers Choice Award. Go to ebgames.com or to your local EB Games store to make your voice heard.
You guys ready for this? Let's do it.
Introducing the new Jeep Wrangler Unlimited with a Sunrider soft top. With more passenger room and twice the cargo space, you'll be able to bring so much stuff that you're bound to forget something.
Hey, what's up? Got everything, right? Yeah, we got everything. Why? Thanks.
Trail-rated capability, only in a Jeep 4x4.
You know that buddy list you love? Now you can take it with you on your Singular phone. Because no one makes it easier to use mobile instant messaging than Singular. Your buddy list goes with you everywhere. And right now, get unlimited instant messaging for $2.99 and a great deal on I Am Ready Nokia phones.
I call it my buddy list goes with me plan.
AOL Instant Messenger, another reason Singular fits you best.
win the Legend Award, presented by Jeep.
There are a lot of game characters out there, but not many of them have the success and the spirit to become sort of an icon for the gaming industry.
He was one of the people that got me really into video games. The first time I played this, it made me realize how cool video games were.
I mean, when I think of where video gaming was before he came along and what has become after his contributions, forget it. I mean, we owe so much to him that it's ridiculous to even consider what life would be like without him.
There are just so many things that we want to do in life that we're not going to get a chance to do. We're never going to get a chance to shoot at a bad guy, to swing on a rope, to fly a starship, and here's a person who does that stuff regularly, and that's something I like having around.
I don't care what you put him in. You could put him in a bikini, you could put him in a beach volleyball game, you could put him in a kart racing game, I'll play it.
The nominees for Game of the Year.
Beyond Good and Evil has arguably one of the best storylines to come out in the last year, and the best storytelling. And you really care about everyone that's involved, and you care about what's going on in this world. It's a world you've never been to, and you never will be to, but you really, really want to set things right.
It's kind of this Alice in Wonderland type feel, sort of like a Disney cartoon, mixed with something a little bit darker, but it's just got this really good gameplay.
There's stealth elements, there's action, there's puzzle solving in that kind of graphic adventure way, and it combines them all in really creative ways.
The masterful blending of story, action, variety of gameplay.
It was just such a beautiful game. I loved that game.
Call of Duty recreates the scope and the scale and just the intensity of war better than probably any game that's come before it. And it'll be a tough act to follow for anybody who comes after it.
Most people might see that as another World War II game. You know, it feels significantly different. Just how intense the action is and what's going on around you.
Call of Duty, my personal pick for Game of the Year, and it's just a sensational experience. We've played World War II games before. We've never played them like this.
Prince of Persia was so beautiful, it made me feel like a kid again. That sense that I got when I first started playing video games, it's that same sense I got when I turned on Prince of Persia for the first time.
It's beautiful, and it's fun to play, and it's hard, and it's rewarding.
There's so many elements to it that just blend together. The narrative, the action, the beauty and the art. It's a well-rounded, superb package.
It looks great, it plays great, the combat's awesome, just the level design is fantastic. The artistry of that game is amazing.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. By far the best game of last year.
Ratchet & Clank is an example of a game where the developers knew exactly what they were doing, and it shows.
I guess I'm just old-fashioned about that sort of thing.
Going Commando returned us to these characters that we'd grown to love in the first version of the game. And not only that, but it expanded that game and made it a lot bigger with a lot more things that you could do.
You're collecting all these gadgets and weaponry, and they're growing with you as you use them. So there's incentive to not just play the game through, but also to play the game, unlock all the weapons, get all the gear.
It's almost offensively good. Like, when you pick up those games, you're kind of like, oh man, I wish this game was just a little worse so I could go on with the rest of my life.
Ratchet & Clank Going Commando took the old game and pretty much ran with it all the way to the finish line.
You have won the prize!
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a Star Wars game that a lot more people can latch onto. It offers new characters who can have more different sensibilities, different takes on the universe, and different goals and motivations.
Not only was KOTOR one of the best RPGs of this year, but it was easily one of the best games of this year. Everything in it worked perfectly.
It has tons of side quests, tons of gameplay. Get to be a Jedi, throw on lightsabers, kick some butt. It's got a great story, great twist. I wish George Lucas could have made this into a movie. Never before has a game come along that actually not only surpasses the original license, but it goes beyond just conventional games. It elevates the gaming media as an art form.
Ready? Action!
Beautiful Joe brings such a new brand of action to the 2D side-scrolling genre. It's like nothing we've ever seen before, and the level of polish and the level of cinematic flair with the animations and with the whole presentation of the game. It's awesome.
It's proof that the side-scroller isn't dead, It's got one of the most unique and exciting looks of any game ever.
It adds new things because of new technology that's involved, but it also feels very familiar and it's funny.
It's just bright, colorful, lots of action, the slow down, speed up, all the variations with time built into the gameplay.
Beautiful Joe takes everything you loved about games as a kid and brings it back with a style that, just can't be duplicated.
Cut, cut, cut!
It's up to you to decide who wins. Go to G4TechTV.com/G-Phoria and vote on your favorite games now.
4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go. This is an emergency.
Join us in the year 2065 as G4 Tech TV presents the 3-day Thunderbirds Marathon.
Splendid.
Watch as International Rescue saves the world from evil and looks good doing it.
It's fantastic. There's mud in your... Absolutely first class.
The 3-day Thunderbirds Marathon, July 29th through July 31st, 5 to 10 p.m.